My teacher, I'm Nermin Aliyeva. I will present the big picture overview of oil refinery and HSE aspects in oil refinery. Let's get started. An oil refinery is an industrial plant that transforms or refines crude oil into various usable petroleum products, such as naphtha, gasoline, kerosene, diesel, and others. Oil refineries essentially serve as the second stage in the crude oil production process following the actual extraction of crude oil upstream, and refinery reserves are considered to be downstream segment of the oil and gas industry. Oil refineries serve an important role in the production of transportation and other fuels. The crude oil components, once separated, can be sold to different industries for a broad range of purposes. Lubricants can be sold to industrial plants immediately after distillation, but other products require more refining before reaching the final user. Major refineries have the capacity to process hundreds of thousands of barrels of daily. In industry, the refining process is commonly called the downstream sector, while rough crude oil production is known as upstream sector. The downstream is associated with the concept that oil is sent down the product value chain to an oil refinery to be processed into fuel. The downstream stage also includes the actual sale of petroleum products to other businesses, governments, or private individuals. You can see in these pictures the application of crude oil in different industries are shown. Oil refineries are typically large, sprawling industrial complexes with extensive pipe running through, carrying streams of fluids between large chemical processing units, such as distillation columns. In many ways, oil refineries use much of the technology and can be thought of as type of chemical plant. There are lots of oil refineries in the world, and Jamnagar Oil Refinery is the largest oil refinery, and it was established 25th of December 2008 with a processing capacity of 1.24 million barrels. This plant is located in Gujarat, India, and it's owned by Reliance Industries. Some modern petroleum refineries process as much as 800,000 to 900,000 barrels of crude oil per day. Petroleum industry make use of many different activities in all sectors of business cycles, from upstream to downstream. Oil and service company management apply HSE policies to all levels of operations and in all sectors. But what means of HSE? Let's first answer this question. HSE management is responsible for planning, implementing, monitoring, and optimizing operational processes in the area of environmental management, health protection, and occupational safety. For industrial enterprises in exploration and production of crude oil, natural gas, and geothermal energy, HSE management plays a special role in order to meet health, occupational safety, and environmental production requirements. Let's analyze what are the health, safety, and environmental functions. First, what is health function? The health function is typically deal with the well-being of employees as they live and work in their environment. It deals with the conduct of activities in such way as to avoid harm to health of employees and others, and to promote as appropriate their health. Typically, the health function focuses on the effects of oil-fired chemicals and fired physical environment on employees. But what is safety function? The safety function focuses on protecting the employee from risk involved during any type of operation and duties. It is related to the principle that all injuries should be prevented and actively promote amongst all those associated with their activities the high standards of safety, consciousness, and discipline that this principle demands. The safety function seeks to minimize the risk and monitor the effectiveness of the minimization activities. And what is environmental function? The environmental function focuses on the effects that petroleum activities have on the natural resources. The environmental issue pursues the progressive reduction of emissions, effluents, and discharge of water materials that are known to have a negative impact on the environment, with the ultimate aim of eliminating them. It aims to provide products and services and advice which will not cause injury or undue effects on the environment. It promotes protection of environment which may be affected by the development of petroleum activities and seek continuous improvement in efficiency of use of natural resources and energy. All petroleum activities are subjected to declaration of environmental compatibility issues by the component authorized after in-depth studies of possible environmental impact. These studies identify sensitive environmental issues, state possible environmental impact, and provide a description of technology and methodology necessary to reduce the risk of damage. The declaration of environmental compatibility is used on the basis of synthetic evaluation, which is a cornerstone for conclusions on how acceptable the environmental risk in terms of chemical pollution or noise pollution, visual impact, smells, and more generally of any other element which may interfere with the environment. Oil companies are constantly researching technology which will allow them to recognize their operations with protection of environment and local ecosystem. Some environmental issues should be considered as a part of comprehensive assessment and management programs that addresses project specific risk and potential impact. This include air emissions, wastewater or effluent discharge, solid and liquid waste management, noise generation, terrestrial impacts and project footprint and spill. In conclusion, we can sum up common HSE aspects for oil refinery in this form: assess health, safety, and environmental matters before entering into new activities and reassess them in case of significant change in circumstance. Require constructors working on their behalf to apply health, safety, and environmental standards fully compatible with their own. Recognize the concerns of shareholders, employees, and society on health, safety, and environmental matters. Provide them with relevant information and discuss with them related company policies and practice. Develop and maintain contingency procedures in cooperation with authorized and emergency service in order to minimize harm from any accidents. Work with governments and others in the development of improved regulation and industry standards which relate to health, safety, and environmental matters. Conduct or support research towards the improvement of health, safety, and environmental aspects of their product, process, and operation. Thank you for attention.